we're going to go ahead and take a look at Air Wings Flight Simulator. So I have in my content controller here, content already set up. We have the Air Wings Simulator. It's just a flight training course. And then we have some materials that he also gives out. Like, we have the puddle hopper is like, the little single engine prop. We have a flight manual for the puddle hopper. And in the accounts, we have two customers that we're selling to. We have Everywhere in the World Airlines, which flies all the planes. And then we have Sarah's Flight School, which flies only the propeller plane right now. So in Everywhere in the World Airlines, you can see that they have Air Wing Simulator Flight Training Course. And also in Sarah's Flight School, you can see the same exact course is in there from our content library. Remember, we only have one iteration of that course. So let's go ahead and look in and see how it looks in LMS, which is Storm Cloud here. I'm going to go to the Everywhere in the World Airlines course here first. So I will go ahead and launch this dispatch, make it bigger so it can be seen. It's going to load up. There we go. So our flight simulator has loaded up. And as you can see in here, we have access to 3 different planes. We have the Bleed Air 179 jet, we have the Puddle Hopper Mark 7, and we have the big one, the Air Freight 4000. So you can go in through here and you can see live little flight simulator. We can move our plane up and down. We have some icons that we can catch for flight training, or we're going to grab the Storm Cloud up there, little Rustici engine. We've got some nice views of Nashville everywhere. And so, yeah, nice little flight simulator that teaches pilots how to fly. We can go through here and we can select, here's the Puddle Hopper, same thing, flying through the AT&T building, collecting icons, working really well. So this is perfect for this big multinational airline. They can come in here, their pilots can choose a plane and do the flight simulator. So now let's go to Sarah's Flight School. So this is going to load up. It's a little slow right now. So Sarah's Flight School, you'll notice, has the same exact thing as big multinational corporation flight school. We have all 3 planes here available to us, but they really only need the Puddle Hopper Mark 7. And frankly, they only paid for the Puddle Hopper Mark 7 simulation here. So how can we, go and tailor this course just for them so that they only get the Puddle Hopper and not any of these other planes? Well, in Content Controller, we can go and we can use custom launch data. So I'm going to go back to Content Controller here. And we're going to go into Accounts, and then Sarah's Flight School. And then I'm going to select their flight simulator, and then I'm going to go in an Advanced tab right here. This is where we can enter the custom launch data to go ahead and do this course. And so I'm going to launch this. I'm going to go allowed planes equals, and then I'm just going to say they're only getting the prop. So once I update that, that's been saved in there. And remember, there's no versioning, there's no re-uploading the course. I can go back in here, and when I launch this, when I get to the splash screen, notice that the other 2 airplanes have now disappeared, and we only get the Puddle Hopper Mark 7. So we've just easily, with that little custom launch data, and the custom launch data has to work with your course. This is not a magic thing where the course just figures it out. You have to program, look for that custom launch data in the course, and then modify the course based on that. But you can also work it so it's a dynamic thing. If there's no custom launch data, it works just out of the box. If there is custom launch data, then you can modify the course on the fly per launch. Like they on their side didn't have to re-upload anything either. And then afterwards, Sarah's Flight School might, hey, they have Nathan Fielder there now, so they're flying jets. So we want to upgrade them to like the next jet. So all we have to do is go in here, add jet to the custom launch data, and when I launch this, now we have the Bleed Air jet. We're still missing the big jumbo jet and everything like that, but this is a really, really easy way to go in and modify courses on the fly like this and really scale it by customer, by course. So looking inside Content Controller again, this is a by course thing. Like the custom launch data for the Airwings flight simulator is not the custom launch data for the Puddle Hopper flight manual. And so as you can see, this course in here, the flight simulator and everything, this is like a very bespoke kind of course where, I went ahead and I almost like, handcrafted this game in there and everything like that. So I'm going to show you now something that you can do just kind of like in a normal kind of like Articulate Storyline or Adobe Captivate kind of course. And that is coming over here. And you notice that we have this Puddle Hopper flight manual. And so we're going to go in here, and this is a Captivate, or sorry, not a Captivate course, but a Storyline course that I made. And as soon as this loads up, I'm using my little baby dev instance of Content Controller. But as soon as this loads up, you can see the traditional Storyline loading right here. It's going to have, the Puddle Hopper flight manual right there. And so as soon as we go through here, it's going to get us to the actual training. This is starting the engine, move the throttle to full position and, press the start button. Well, we have the start button right there. So we'll go ahead and press that start button. And then that's going to go ahead and send us our completion back to the LMS. And so after that, we can close this course. We can see that we got completed through the storyline, everything like that. But for Sarah's Flight School, they want kind of like an introduction of welcome to Sarah's Flight School. If they have any questions, here's some contact information for you. So let's go back into Content Controller. We're going to go to the Puddle Hopper flight manual right here, and then again, custom launch data. And then this, I can just I've set this course up where I can say, welcome to Sarah's Flight School. You are about to embark on a great journey. For any questions, call us at 555-555-5555. And let's go ahead and update that. So now that we have that piece of custom launch data in Content Controller, we're going to go back to Storm Cloud. I'm going to reset the progress here because we got a completion. And then let's launch it. Okay, so now we're back at the front page, just like we were before, but now when I press the next button here, now we are at this kind of like interstitial page before the actual training. So it saw that there was custom launch data. It saw that there was actually text in that custom launch data. And now we have this kind of like preamble that we can dynamically use based on whether there's custom launch data or not to give this little welcome message to the students. So everything that I typed in that box appears here. And then from here, we just go through as usual. It's going to go to the next slide. And then from there, we can complete the course. So really, that's a couple examples of how custom launch data can really help you navigate or really help you customize the course without making a billion different iterations of the course as you go through here.